friends. I had been using the same desk for a long time and it was time for a change. I had been looking for a new desk for a while. I bought the desk on a friend's recommendation. I quickly completed the setup and have been using it for a while. I want to share my experiences with you. My old desk was quite old. It had started to deform. Since it had wooden legs, it was slightly wobbly. I had convinced myself. I had been looking at new models for a long time, wondering what to buy. I preferred it to have adjustable features. I researched many brands and models, but I decided on this brand based on a friend's recommendation. The product was delivered about 4 days after I placed the order. The delivery was made in 2 main boxes. Body parts under the table, legs, motor, circuit, and similar components. Since the user manual was also included, you can easily complete the assembly by following the instructions. Everything like an Allen key and screws comes complete in the box. You don't need anything extra. When you follow the setup step by step, you can complete the entire assembly of the body in about an hour to an hour and a half. There's only one point to be careful about during the setup. You adjust the length of the fastening parts under the body according to the length of the table. After securing it, you leave it slightly loose. You perform the final tightening when placing the body onto the tabletop. But even if you tighten it at the beginning, you can loosen it later to adjust it here. It's not a place that will cause much of a problem. The holes necessary for the entire assembly under the tabletop are pre-prepared and sent. Therefore, this also provides an ease. I performed this setup in a narrow space, but it is sufficient. If you have a larger area, you will work more comfortably. Finally, you assemble the legs and then install the control panel for height adjustment and the motor connection components. Their holes are also ready. You can place the control panel on the right side or the left side of the table, as you wish. The spots are ready for both sides. This is how it looks after the assembly is completed. After the assembly is complete, this is how it looks. My recommendation to you is to place a cable management device under the table during installation to make your work easier later on. Channels have been created for under table holes at 2 corners of the table. This is also useful. I purchased the table in the dimensions of 140 measurements by 70. You can also purchase it in different sizes. The remote control has 4 memory buttons and 2 buttons for raising and lowering. You can adjust the height of your table from a minimum of 76 centimeters to a maximum of 120 centimeters, the standard measurement used when you sit on a chair. You can save your desired measurement in the memory for intermediate heights. When adjusting the table height, the noise from the motor is almost non-existent. When you look at the surface of the table, you can see that its texture is of high quality. The cues were quite sturdy. The preservation of the products inside was good. The table setup is easy. You can perform the setup by yourself. You don't need any additional tools. The biggest advantage is that the table can be used in adjustable sizes. It provides the opportunity to work without sitting at a minimum height of 76 centimeters, intermediate heights, and a maximum of up to 120 centimeters. If you spend long hours at the desk during the day, it has an advantage in this regard. At first glance, the table shows that it is of high quality. The texture quality on the table surface is quite good. The legs and body of the table are quite sturdy. After the table is set up, it doesn't show much movement or vibration. I only experienced this when I used a monitor with its own stand on the table and raised the height to the maximum. I noticed slight vibrations on the monitor with the typing motion from the keyboard. This table seems quite ideal for remote workers, office employees, and those who spend long hours at the desk. There are also different models specifically for gamers available on the brand's own website. Thank you for watching. The packaging was quite sturdy. The preservation of the products inside was good. The table is easy to assemble. You can do it by yourself.